Of all the Tuscan cities, the most underappreciated is Arezzo. I've house hunted here for you on previous episodes, and I think the barometer is changing. And now, even I have skin in the game. My mission today is to prove to you that Arezzo not only holds its own in terms of beauty, cuisine, and dream homes, but that it might even put the likes of Florence and Siena to shame. Big claim, I know, but after this 3-course lunch and 3 designer homes I found today, well, I'll let you be the judge. Andiamo. Questo è veramente buono. Buongiorno guys, welcome back to Arezzo in the heart of Tuscany, my favorite Tuscan town. Today, I really want to experience Tuscanness in its full essence. Tuscan style, Tuscan flavors. It's cold outside. It's winter, we're in January, and so I want that warmth to fill up my belly and warm my soul. So we're having a 3-course meal today, and we're viewing 3 dream homes to accompany that hearty lunch, and we're starting in Piazza Grande, the most beautiful square of this city. Arezzo is a city of 96,000 inhabitants, a provincial capital located on the eastern edge of Tuscany in the area known as the Val di Chiana. This city has been a rich cultural hub since the Etruscan period and Roman Empire. As with any Italian city, the main square, Piazza Grande, is Arezzo's cultural, historical, and architectural heart. On its north side, we have the Logge del Vasari, a Renaissance palazzo with porticos commissioned by the powerful de' Medici family. One of my favorite breakfast spots is actually found under these arches. However, it is the west side of the piazza that is the most suggestive. Palazzo della Fraternità dei Laici, that is, the Palace of the Fraternity of the Laity, has since the 1200s been the seat of a charitable institution of the city. Its facade reflects its long construction history with a Gothic entry level, a middle level in a Renaissance style with sculptures, and on top, a clock tower from the 1500s showing the phases of the moon. Heading to its south side reveals the incline of this unique trapezoid-shaped piazza, a feature engineered specifically for the easy flow of rainfall. Here, we find ourselves behind the majestic church of Santa Maria della Pieve, where we have the 16th century marble fountain. But peeking behind, ever present, is the so-called Bell Tower of 100 Holes, one of the most characteristic elements of Arezzo's skyline. Santa Maria della Pieve is Arezzo's most historical church with origins in the 5th or 6th century. However, its current Romantic-style construction dates from the 12th century. The impression you get when peeking inside is that of looking into the past, where seeing a nobleman being knighted wouldn't be out of place. History can also be heard, as the church rings its 500-year-old bells, announcing the major liturgical hours every day. Piazza Grande is Arezzo in a nutshell. Beauty, history, and that classic Tuscan atmosphere which I can only describe as both rustic and elegant at the same time. Timeless. If these facades could speak, I can only imagine the tales they'd have to tell. So when I'm traveling and I need to find a spot for lunch, I always Google it. But that only works when I have a reliable data plan, especially when I'm abroad. And that's why I use Simify, today's sponsor. I never travel without an eSIM because it allows you to not have to buy a local physical SIM card and swap out your own, or to pay crazy roaming costs on your normal plan. All you have to do is purchase your Simify eSIM before you fly, and when you land, just tweak a couple of phone settings and you'll be online in a few minutes. If you're coming to Italy, Simify works like a charm here. Googling ristorante won't be a problem, but it also works in over 150 other countries. So you're covered basically wherever you go. Just choose the plan that works best for your data usage needs. There's tons of options and they start at $2 a day. Using the app is easy peasy, so you can fully focus on your travels. So check out the Simify before you fly with the link in the description below and use my code DREAM to get 15% off. So we're on Via Cavour right now. It's the street which intersects to the street going straight down to the station. And I always pass this restaurant here in the center of Arezzo, and I've been dying to try it. It's called Briganti Toscani La Tavernaccia, and they're known for the typical Tuscan cuisine, which I've been craving. Let's go check them out. All the good restaurants have wines with their own brand, right? This is a 2024 Rosso San Luciano, so we're right here in the area of Tuscany.
Un'azienda di Monte San Savino, più o meno delle zone dove siamo andati a riprendere quel ristorante.
Monte San Savino, quindi 20 minuti al sud
Sì,
di qua.
20 minuti tranquilli.
So what we have here is the typical ribollita. This is a Tuscan soup which is typically eaten during the winter time. It really warms you up, and it's based on, it's really peasant cuisine, but it's really just become something that everybody eats, of course. It's with beans, carrots, cabbage, and bread. Ribollita means reboiled. They're reusing ingredients that they perhaps haven't used during the week. You incorporate it into the soup, and it's just so tasty, complex flavors. This is one of my favorite Tuscan dishes. Una bomba. Buonissimo. We've made it to the home that I'm most excited about showing you guys today. Probably the favorite home that I've showed on my channel so far. I know maybe those are big words, right? But it's inside of this palazzo. It's the top floor. It's a home probably originally from the 1500s, 1600s. What we do know about the home is that it was part of the diocese of the Church of Arezzo, and that it belonged to, it's where nuns stayed, it's where prelates stayed. But on the top floor is where the old bishop stayed. 490,000 euros asking price and 150 square meters of scrotal space. So let's go upstairs and I'll show you the apartment. A bit of history as we enter in and head upstairs. The details which we'll see inside the apartment are traceable to Bishop Bernardino Cellesi between 1799 and 1802. At that time, Arezzo was uprising against the Napoleonic occupation, but also the good bishop was finishing the works of a side chapel within Santa Maria della Pieve, which we saw before in the Piazza. The frescoing of the dome specifically. And you'll see why that's significant in a bit. When we enter in, you can see there's a curtain right in front of me. That's a surprise that I will show you at the end of the tour. Directly above it, we have a Latin phrase, locus iste sanctus est. This place is sacred. And so that's hinting at the contents of what will be inside there. As you can see, beautiful arches on the ceiling with another rose a fresco there in the middle. We walk in and you can see really the majesty of this living room. This is the main living room of the property. We have the wooden ceilings painted white. We have wooden floors as well, and a back wall which is painted, two sort of doorways with a fireplace there in between. Just a gorgeous minimalist space, really emphasizing the architecture and the design of the area. I think it's been furnished really well as well, with a couple of sofas and love seats. On this corner, we do have this kind of dual doorway set up as well, with one of them being, of course, a space with shelves, as it is on that other side there. The fireplace is in marble, so a really beautiful fireplace structure there. This is a property which has been renovated, so very recently been renovated. And you can see that in the kitchen as well. So beautiful design, lighting there coming from the ceilings. The ceilings are all the same throughout the property. And the brand new kitchen here on this side, you can see really shiny, brilliant, brand new. We have the countertops, the sinks, and the front panels of the cupboards below are all this black, which is contrasting with the whitish marble of the countertop. Here in the back, we have the views looking out onto Arezzo. You can see there's the back sides of the yards, let's say, of the properties, which you can see below. Somebody has a pool, which is very nice. You don't often see that in the historical center of Arezzo, but a gorgeous views. You can see the hills there in the back, the spires. I believe that is of the Church of Saint Augustine, Sant'Agostino. But really just a gorgeous, beautiful kitchen space there in the back. We have an area where you would have the more storage space there. You open those doors and it's more closet space. And now let's head into the highlight room of this property. Frescoes everywhere. These were all uncovered during the recent renovation. They were all plastered over. The frescoes most likely were from the same painters who painted the dome in that chapel in Santa Maria della Pieve, with scenes, biblical scenes, such as this one here on the back, which was most likely the Feast of Balthazar from the book of Daniel. In the back there above the fireplace, we have scenes from Lot from the book of Genesis. The ceilings are interesting because they're more neoclassical themes. You can see that middle panel, Apollo with his three steeds, so Apollo, the sun god of the Romans. You're basically in your own art gallery in this room. Here on this wall, we seem to have what is the fall of the walls of Jericho, which is another episode taken from the Old Testament in the book of Joshua. So this is a room filled with history, filled with just an ambiance of having your own art gallery, a peek into the past, just really, really unique. Right next door, we have the bedroom. Here as well, we had walls that were painted, not with scenes, but in a more geometrical style from that time period, the 1800s. So we have the bed here in the middle, lots of light coming in from that window on the wall, giving you the same view that we saw from the kitchen, of course. And in the back, this nice walk-in closet space has been created where you have plenty of cubby room to hang up shirts. You have the closed closet there on the back side for whatever needs you'd have. Also, they're all illuminated too, so you have this very nice illuminated space here in the back, even though the window light isn't reaching it. Right behind it, we have the bathroom. Here as well, renovated perfectly. Revealed stones and that arched ceilings being lit up with illumination strips along the side. A shower there in the back. And you look up and you have this light well letting in lots of light from an frescoed ceiling there as well. It's just the wonders don't finish in this property. So this brings us to the small hallway, which is the laundry room. Beautiful tiles there as well. And we walk back out into the entrance to the surprise of this tour. We open up the curtains and we're in the private chapel of the bishop who lived here. So you look up and we have frescoes here as well. This is the only space where the frescoes haven't been restored completely, but they are in great shape. We have here the Assumption and coronation of Mary here at the top, on the sides walking in. So this could have been where you have like a little altar, but a prayer space. And on either side, we have saints. So this is most likely Saint Bernard on this side. And then on the other side, we have Saint Francis, who, as you've seen in other episodes, most likely I've mentioned him before, who's native more or less of this area between Umbria and the Arezzo area of Tuscany. So, guys, this is the chapel, the small chapel of this home in the center of Arezzo. Just amazing. Fantastico. Grazie. Sì, per favore. So as a primo, we have strozzapreti in a cream sauce with sausage, peppers, a bit of parsley on top. This looks spectacular. Technically, a ribollita could be a first. I just took it as the antipasto, and then this is my first dish, the primo. And, of course, we're going to put some Parmigiano Reggiano on top. The type of pasta is called strozzapreti, and it's pasta not made with semolo wheat, but standard wheat, and it's just water and wheat. So nothing, no eggs, no oil or anything like that. It's
Come sono questi?
buonissimi. Sì, sì.
Ovviamente è pasta fresca, eh.
Ah, fate voi?
No, no, prima sì, adesso lo fa un pastificio qua della zona.
So we've made it to the home that we're going to be touring today. It's on the third floor of this historic palazzo. It's an apartment of 180 square meters. This apartment is from the 1300s. So this is a very historic palazzo. We're in the central neighborhood of Arezzo, which is so gorgeous. 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a beautiful loggia, which allows us to have some outdoor space with views of the rooftops of the historical center. Let's go inside. Of particular note, when you walk inside, is this picture, this fresco on the ceiling. This is painted by the famous Renaissance painter Piero della Francesca. So we're in a very historical building. So the palazzo is from the 14th century, believed to have been the residence of painter Piero della Francesca as he frescoed the church of San Francesco, which is in the neighborhood. Asking price of this apartment is 590,000 euros. So we've made it into the entrance. As you can see, according to the layout, we have 3 bedrooms, one of which is behind me, we'll see at the end, but the hallway going into the living space, and a really special space right this way. So you come in, hang up your coat, get a glass of wine, a cocktail. You have your mini bar right when you walk through the door. So you can already see we're in a very special place with a very special furniture and an attention to detail, which you don't see too often. From here, we can go into the first bathroom and then into the living room. So the wooden floors, you can already see them, stay constant throughout the house. The house was renovated recently, 2024, and the high quality finishings are evident even from this first bathroom. So beautiful shower, sink, toilet, bidet, windows up top, letting in plenty of light, and the ceilings start with these wooden beams which have been painted over. Really beautiful. Here we can have a peek out the side. This is a part of the terrace to which we have access, and we'll see further down during the property tour how we would get there. Note throughout this property how high quality every element of the space is. So looking here immediately, you see the wooden floors with the square designs. You see the furniture, the high ceilings with the wooden beams painted over white, the lighting, which has been intricately chosen throughout the property. Just everything about it breathes quality, breathes luxury, really. And that's the reason for this is that the furnishings are designer objects and they've been chosen by specific architects from Italian fashion houses. So you'll see there all throughout that side of the property, we have that loggia, which we'll see a bit better at the end. That brings us into this rectangular dining space. And from here, we have access to 2 other areas of this home. Through this arch, we have the kitchen here as well. Really beautiful minimal design, black panels with a gray granite countertop, all very high quality, um, major appliances, right? This is a volcanic granite, really nice with those hints of red in it as well. So furnishings such as these ones in the kitchen were completed by local artisans and craftsmen. And so we enter through this second arch, and this brings us into, let's call it the night wing of the property. Here we have the hallway looking down, but I'm going to cross the hall. That door behind us is a closet space laundry room. And here we have bedroom number 1. This construction leading to storage space behind the beds is the same in all 3 of the bedrooms that we'll tour. Very practical space, and it allows you to keep the front bed area clean, right, from where you would have clothes and closets. Here we come back out onto a terrace, a small balcony terrace, which gives you gorgeous views of the rooftops around us. We have the campanile of Santa Maria della Pieve, and you can just see the terracotta tiles of all those other roofs, which is just a charming aspect of Italian skylines. Now we'll walk down this hall, really beautiful shadows and lights and arches at play there. This is the loggia. So that goes all the way down. That belongs to the property. And of course, you have access to that. Further down the hallway, we have bathroom number 2. So whereas bathroom number 1 would be more of your daytime bathroom, your guest bathroom, this is more of the bathroom associated with the bedrooms here in the back. Once again, a complete bathroom with high quality finishings. We have a corner here for more storage space with a nice cupboard there. And this brings us into bedroom number 2. Here we also have that dividing wall with the armoire in the back and the studio. So it's a bedroom currently being used as a studio. Plenty of space here. Beautifully furnished, I'd say, with that old-fashioned telephone with the printer there in the corner. Gorgeously done, just an impeccable sense of style and attention has been put into this property. Also in the furniture, right? So we'll head back because we've seen 2 bedrooms, but there's the 3rd bedroom, which is on the other side of the entrance, which we skipped at the beginning. So we're returning in our tracks to see bedroom number 3. And it's similar to bedroom number 1. You have that dividing wall with storage space, kind of a walk-in closet type feel there in the back. Also very nice, the painting combination of that maroon with the white walls around it. So unique illumination coming up from the floors is very nice. Looking out this window, we have another gorgeous view onto some of the steeples of the churches, the rooftop tiles here. This is a different angle with respect to the balcony that we saw in the back room. So it gives you a different, unique perspective onto Arezzo. For all of these properties, we're on the top floor, so you'll see we'll have great views from all of them. For our second dish, we're having the stinco di maiale. Stinco is the shin, so it's the shin of the pig. There's a phrase in Italian. This is the Italian lesson for the day when you say someone is not uno stinco di santo, meaning they're not the shin of a saint, because saints' relics are venerated, and so you're saying this person isn't a very saintly person. But this is the shin of the pig. This looks really good. So let's attack. So you can see how tender the meat is. It just falls right off the bone. They were telling me this is cooked over 13 hours. And so it just really just falls apart. It's covered in this wonderful sauce. It's so flavorful. This is also another perfect dish for the winter when you want to warm up. If you come to Arezzo, come eat at Briganti Toscani, La Tavernaccia. They'll treat you very well. The food is excellent. Out of this world good. Third home of the day, designer home. We're on the top floor. Asking price 430,000 euros. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, I believe, but we'll have a better look upstairs. I think it's very unique because we have the rooftop terrace. We're in the historical center of Arezzo, and we have everything designed by an architect, an internal design. It's being sold. It was used as an Airbnb, and it's being sold furnished as well. Very unique home. I think you're going to enjoy it. So once again, we're on the top floor. For all 3 property tours, we're on the top floor, giving you great views. This property is 158 square meters total. It's in a historical building, and it's a duplex. So we're going to walk up. I want to prepare you for this property because I think it's really one of the most unique properties that I've toured so far. And you can see that already when we enter. The door is covered in animal fur. So this is a property that has character, that has pizzazz. I'm really interested in hearing your take, your impressions of this property. Obviously, if you're interested in purchasing it, or would require more information, then obviously write to me, as with all of the properties that I've shown you today. But you can see the design in this property is very unique, very intentional. It's called it rough lux. So the walls are intentionally left in a state of an appearance of being unfinished, but it gives like a kind of industrial design to it. Um, the furnishings are very much like kind of like animal based. So you have leather sofas, you have the fur doors. You'll see other elements similar to that throughout the property. So there's really this rich, earthy kind of feel to the design, mixed with an industrial, almost steampunk feel to it. These are the impressions that I get, but I really want to hear your impressions as well. That industrial design really goes through these the boxes you can see there at the end table with the lighting, really emphasizing like the metal steel design. And then you have a unique chandelier there in the middle. So just a really unique design choices. The busts of the heads there on the walls, just so unique. Here, once again, a door, a textured door. You walk in and you have bedroom number one. You can see that the bed here as well has this really interesting kind of pincushion, red leather to it, which is very unique. Even the heating, those radiators are left with the appearance of being rusted. They're not rusted; they're in great shape. But you can see, so this is the view. We have the view down onto the street. You can see the historic palazzo there in front of us. We're in a historical building, right? And so I think this home is really compelling, and it's of course for its uniqueness in its style, but also if you're using it as an Airbnb, it has a real distinct character, which those standard like IKEA, how do you call them? Like Home Depot special homes, I've heard people call them before. They just don't have. This home has charm, it has character, and it's so unique. And at the same time, it's historical character too. I don't think they've really done injustice to the space at all, right? So this is bedroom number two, the same kind of radiator, a textured door. Those are the stairs going up. We're in a duplex, and we will go up there, but even in the kitchen, so have a look at this kitchen. I'm really enthusiastic about this space. It was just so unique being in there. You have an island kitchen with that extractor hood coming down from the ceiling. Very nice. There's an opening on that wall, and I'll show you why that's there in a bit. And so being set up as a TV, you have the dining space there, a TV set up on the wall. The oven is built into the wall there on the left, whereas you have the gas stovetop where you would cook on, with even a small grill space there. Next to that is where you have the sink, and so you have this very, it's like a socializing space. It's not you're up against the wall cooking. You can be cooking on one side and entertaining on the other side. Of course, that is the purpose of having an island kitchen, right? But it's been integrated into this area so well, and you don't see that too often actually in Italian homes. This kind of island kitchen concept. It's very much a modern take. So walking around this corner, I want to show you under the stairs is where we have, where is it? The refrigerator. It's here, very well hidden. And so you don't have this like white electric domestic, you know, refrigerator out in a space where it doesn't seem to fit. You have it fit behind that black metal closet. And so this is the bathroom. The bathroom here, a different textured door. Even like the doorknobs, the handles are so unique, and the walls have these sketches, right? The sketches of the human form, right? So this is, of course, the theme of today's property tours. We have art, we have design integrated into every element of the homes, and they're all turnkey homes, right? So these are, of course, the masculine and feminine figures, but even chandeliers coming down from the ceiling in a bathroom. It's not something you see that often. Of course, these have been treated walls, so it's not like you're going to be able to erase the designs or anything like that. But it's so tastefully done. It's so unique. Even in the shower, behind the showering, you have a sketch, and so even for like the asking price, 430,000 euros. This is such a unique property. I guess unique is the adjective. I can't describe it any other way. It's so compelling. I really think there is someone out there who this is the right property for them. And even if you don't use it as a B&B, this would be, as like a pad, right? You come up to your top floor pad to entertain people, your friends or family or whatever. This is just charming, a charming space. So we'll walk up these wooden stairs. So you can see wooden with like black steel. These metal themes are, of course, other elements that have been integrated into the design of the property. And you can see here how the duplex unfolds. So you look up, you have the revealed wood of the ceiling. You can see even the curtains have texture, kind of animal fur textures. There we have another living space in the back, but a bedroom, right? So you have a bedroom once again with those industrial style lightings. Even the bed has the texture fur there on the backstop, right? The head stop there. The lights hanging down from the beam. Those windows let in plenty of natural light. So even though you're up here, you do have window space and a bathroom on the duplex floor as well, with a very unique situational lighting here. So I like what I like about this bathroom is the floors. You have these brick floors, which are really nice in a space like this. We have these cubby spaces kind of etched into the wall there with aged wood, which matches perfectly the old beams that we have above us. So everything is intentional. Everything has been thought out meticulously to be a coherent space in the design that's been chosen. Here as well, the with the same philosophy that we had with the refrigerator below, we have with the washing machine here. So this is the bed. This is the relaxation space. Here we have a fireplace with a boar's head above it. So keeping with the theme of this kind of like earthy, animal-based space, with the leathers, the boar head, but with the kind of designer, what were they, like figurine heads below, a little poof there in the middle to place your feet on. You can get really cozy here, and you have an old school radio there on the back. So, like I said, this is a property which is being sold furnished. So what you see is what you get. If you use this as a B&B, for example, this I think you're providing a unique experience to the guests that are coming here. Also, because you have this rooftop terrace, you can see that it's covered, and so, but it's covered, but it's revealed with glass, right? So you're still getting plenty of light. You're not blocking out the light, but you're blocking out the rain. And from around us, we have the views of the buildings all around. So here we're in a lower section of the historical center of Arezzo. So the views, you can still see, I still think that's the same church, that steeple, the same church of Sant'Agostino that we've seen from the three homes, but from different positions within the historical center. So that's a unique unifying point of the three tours of today. So guys, like, subscribe, and comment below. What did you think of our 3-course lunch and our 3 home tours that we toured? Check out my Patreon if you like my work and you want to consider supporting me. I am renovating a home in Arezzo, and I'm vlogging on that process as it takes place. Contact me, marco@justdreamitaly.com, if you're interested in looking for your own dream home in Italy, and I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!